Acceptance is not surrender. It is the moment you stop asking anger to rewrite the past. The words already landed. The decision was already made. The person already showed you what they chose. You can keep prosecuting reality, or use that energy to decide what happens next. Acceptance does not erase consequences. It ends the argument with the facts, so action can begin. Most people here accept it and imagine becoming passive, staying quiet, letting someone win. That is not acceptance. That is resignation wearing calm clothes. Acceptance is more demanding. It says, this happened. This is what this person is doing now. This is what it costs me. And this is the part I still control. Refusing reality can feel like self-respect. Sometimes that refusal is the first alarm that something is wrong, but an alarm is not a strategy. If it keeps ringing after the facts are clear, it can consume the attention you need for the next move. There is a narrow research finding worth keeping narrow. In the classic white bear experiments, trying not to think a thought was sometimes followed by a rebound in how often it appeared. That does not mean everything you resist controls you. It means forceful mental suppression can backfire in some settings. Acceptance-based approaches make a different move. They do not require a feeling to disappear before behavior can change. The question becomes, with this anger, grief, fear, or disappointment still here, what action fits the life I want to protect? Imagine a print shop that has just run a stack in the wrong color. The pages are already on the table. The crew can spend the next hour proving that the mistake should not exist, or they can stop the press, name the error, contact the client, decide what can be repaired, and absorb the consequence. Acceptance did not make the mistake acceptable. It made the mistake usable. The same distinction becomes harder in relationships because control often arrives disguised as care. You keep explaining because if they finally understand, maybe they will become safe. You keep correcting because if they finally agree, maybe your pain will feel justified. You keep checking because if they finally choose differently, maybe you can relax. But another person's repeated choice is information, not a verdict on their permanent worth, not a diagnosis. Information about what they are willing to do now. At some point, the 10th perfect explanation is not communication. It is a request for the facts to negotiate. You are not required to keep presenting your pain to a jury committed to misunderstanding it. Stop performing emotional litigation. Read the behavior, then decide what access that behavior earns. This is where acceptance and boundaries meet. Acceptance says, they may keep choosing this. A boundary says, if they do, here is what I will do. That action might be ending a conversation, changing an agreement, documenting what happened, asking for support, reducing contact, or leaving. In abuse, coercion, stalking, credible threats, or continuing danger, distance and qualified local help may be protective. Acceptance never means making yourself easier to harm. It also does not mean forgiveness. Forgiveness is a separate choice. Reconciliation is a separate process. Trust is not owed to a feeling. It is built from observable behavior over time. Sometimes you are the fact another person has to accept. If you caused harm, acceptance is not saying, that is just who I am. It is stopping the debate about your intention long enough to face the effect. Name it. Repair what can be repaired. Accept that the other person may still choose distance. There is another limit. Choice never happens in a vacuum. Culture, money, dependency, disability, immigration status, caregiving, and safety can change which options are available. A clean slogan should never shame someone for a complicated reality. So use 4 lines instead of one slogan. What happened, stated without argument? What story am I adding about what this fact must mean? What is mine to choose now? What consequence, protection, or repair does this moment require? You do not need to feel peaceful before answering. Clarity can arrive while your body is still angry. Courage can arrive while grief is still in the room. Stop demanding a different past as the price of a usable present. Let the facts be blunt. Let the grief be honest. Then choose the next move. Acceptance does not make what happened okay. It makes reality usable.